Good night and welcome back to my channel. And for tonight, I kind of just want to talk about some of the stuff I did today. One of the main things I did today was I went up to one of the client's place to install a POS printer. So it's one of those point of sale stations that the restaurant uses in order to keep track of sales for food and bev that is done for the night. So what happened was that they had asked me to come in and look at the new POS system that they are installing since they're transitioning from one system to the other. And they got in two types of printer. There was a star printer, one of those thermal printers, and there was the Epson printer. So it's one of those Epson TM T88V printer, which are the small receipt printer that you normally would find hooked up to a POS system. So what I had to do was, after plugging in the Epson printer into the network card, it needed a little bit of configuration done. Now by default, these Epson printer comes with setting, I think 192.168.192, I believe. And again, the IP address can be found online. That is the default. So what needed to be done was that after knowing what the IP address was, and this was done by pressing down the feed button while I started the printer, it would then print out a sheet showing what IP address was in there. So it was a static IP address. So I had to place in an IP address on my laptop to make sure that they are on the same subnet and they are communicating with each other. I then went into the web interface for the printer and change the IP address to the appropriate subnet that I wanted, or something that matched the network that was there. For the most part, it was fairly easy when it came to the Epson printer, and keep in mind that I was attaching these to an iPad, which the people who serve get to take around. Interesting system. I think it was an Eros POS system. The other type of printer, and this one I found interesting, was a star printer. Again, it was a receipt printer, one of those small thermal printers. I'll show you a diagram, so you should be able to see a diagram somewhere up top. And what I needed to do to get this working was that because it was a star printer on the iPad, I had to have it emulate the Epson printer. Now, this can be done by turning over the star printer. So right at the bottom of the star printer, you unscrew a little door that is there, and it brings several pins that you can set. Now the one that I changed in order for it to emulate the Epson printer was the pin over on the right hand side, and I'll try to put the diagram up so you can see. I changed pin number 1 to off, and that worked to emulate an Epson printer. So 3 printers were hooked up to the system. Again, the main thing was to make sure that they're all on the same subnet, they're all on the same network, and that the point of sale system is actually seeing the printer. So it was a fairly straightforward printer installation. Now keep in mind that these printers, because they're network printers, can be a little bit tricky for the person who is not that tech savvy. So it required the addition of an IP address, have the network identified. I went with a static IP address as opposed to DHCP, simply because I don't want that after a little while it kicks off the printer off the network, or somebody else's machine gets the IP address that is used. So what I did was to have the DHCP only push for a small amount of IP address, which I think was sufficient enough to run the clients who were there. And the static IP address, I had it in a range somewhere above 200. So say for example, I put DHCP anywhere from 192.168.0.50 to 192.168.0.180. That means I have everything from 180 to 255 to play with, or to 254 that I could use for static addresses on any other devices that I want, and they'll still be able to communicate because they're in the same subnet. So that's basically it. That's what I did today. Interesting again, installing printers. See what happens. I have small video segments, small pictures that I'll show you. See you in the next video.